From the Kansas City Sports Update Studio, this is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs, brought to you by Arrowhead Update. Don't forget to check out our Royals Update podcast with Kevin Mong. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Spreaker Player FM, YouTube, and all third-party applications. Also check us out on all major social media platforms. And if you can't find us there, just Google The Richard Smith Show and Kansas City Chiefs, and I promise you will find it. Let's talk Chiefs. How are we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? It is Saturday, May 18th, about 3:15 p.m. Let's talk Chiefs. Well, today in Chiefs Kingdom, I want to talk about our offense and the holes that we have in our offense and how we can fill them. And honestly, a great comparison as to what our offense should be compared to where it's at, because here's my thing, and this is what I'm going to focus on today, Kansas City, is number one, we're going to talk about the draft picks that have come into Kansas City on the offensive side of the ball that are going to make a great impact immediately, and how Brett Veach has really honed in on getting great picks from the draft and also undrafted free agents as well. And there's some talent that's come in that has really raised some eyebrows from the undrafted free agents, and that's why I say, Brett Veach has really honed in on this draft and how to utilize every single pick. But first, I want to start at the running back position. And with the running back position, here's my thing. Both Williams, Carlos Hyde, we also have Darwin Thompson, and I believe one more running back. But here's my big deal with both of the Williams running backs. When you have an offensive arsenal that we have in place with weapons like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, and let alone Patrick Mahomes, if you're a running back on the Kansas City Chiefs offense, there's absolutely no excuse for you not to have 1,300 all-purpose yards every single year. I don't care if it's your first year in the system. If you're a system player at all, you should be having 1,300 yards every single season, all-purpose. And here's my thing with that. You got to be an all-purpose type of running back. You've got to be able to catch out of the backfield. You've got to be able to catch downfield, and you've got to be able to run. I mean, look, there's not a lot of Kareem Hunts out there. I'm not saying you got to be a Kareem Hunt. But what I'm saying is if you're a running back in the NFL right now, there's no reason at all that you shouldn't be succeeding and excelling in an Andy Reid build system, especially with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes and a tight end like Travis Kelce, who stretches the field so much. Not alone. Look, outside of that, we have Tyreek Hill, the fastest receiver in the league, most explosive player in the league. As a running back, if you're not thriving in that system, you have no place on the roster in Chiefs Kingdom. So that's why at this point I'm excited about what we pulled out of the draft and the late rounds with Darwin Thompson from Utah State. I have said this before, and I'll stand by this. He's a Darren Sproles type of running back. If we can get Darwin Thompson rolling, with Carlos Hyde being the muscle man, I feel like the two-headed monster will work out very well for Kansas City. Let alone, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Brett Veach is really hot on a undrafted free agent that he brought into Kansas City. What I mean hot, like he's really liking this guy, and it's John Lovett, Princeton quarterback. But John Lovett isn't just a quarterback. John Lovett lines up as a slot position, as well as halfback, fullback, and tight end, and multiple scenarios for Princeton. He's all-around home run hitter, utility player, and that was a great acquisition that Brett Veach grabbed out of the bottom of the barrel. So for everybody out there who really has something to say about Brett Veach, and I will defend this man to the day I die. Because look, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, Kansas City. The Brett Veach, Andy Reid, Clark Hunt era is just as good as the Marty Schottenheimer, Carl Peterson, and Lamar Hunt era. I love what we're doing with football. And here's my thing too, is Clark Hunt is a genius. This is the thing, is there's like, okay, what's the right word for this? Excuse me. So there's a ladder effect in the draft. It's deeper than just what we're doing as a team. If you're constantly bringing in young talent to complement the old talent, even if we can't pay for that talent in the future, it's trade bait to be able to pay the talent that we need to. Brett Veach is a genius because we're always going to have a loaded roster. When you always have a loaded roster, that means there's always value in that roster. In turn, that brings championship teams, because what player does not want to play on a team that is loaded top to bottom with talent from all over the board in all age ranges? But here's another thing, the Chiefs are really young, and that's why I stick with the depth in the draft, because that is what creates this amazing young talent to either, one, build our team around, or two, uses capital to keep building our team. So there's more aspects in the draft than bringing talent to our team to utilize right now. It's deeper than that, and that's what I love about Brett Veach. It's not just about right now, it's about the future. It's about the possibility of the future, the possibility of trades, the possibility of drafts, the possibility of stock that our team holds. Look, there's value. There's the great thing about our team in the NFL is you can have a player on your team that is being underpaid and there's more value in him. That's great. That's a hard thing to find in normal society. So you have a player who's underpaid. Trade bait. It's perfect. Kansas City, we're in a perfect scenario. Don't second guess anything that Brett Veach is doing. The man's a genius. He's not on Madden rookie mode, yo. Let's just keep it real. The man's at the professional level, and I dig what he's doing. But sometimes you got to look in between the lines and look past football, because it's a business. When it comes to business, what better way to look? The best business you could ever have, the best franchise that you could ever run, is a franchise that has exploited every bit of talent from every single person on that team and knows what they're getting out of them. They know how they can contribute to the team. They know how they can contribute to the NFL, and they know how they can contribute to the future of the Kansas City Chiefs. We are on a dynasty run, Kansas City. I'm letting you know this right now. This is deep stuff right here, and it's a lot different because you're looking at it as a GM perspective. Look, a fan perspective, I'm just going to let you guys know. A fan perspective is a subpar perspective of what the real behind the scenes gears are doing, to make this system work. So, look, Kansas City, this offensive monster that we have put together will staying here for a while. This defense that we're putting together, this is going to be an exciting defense, and we needed this. Chris Chavez, our senior draft analyst, he is really our senior NFL analyst. He raises a lot of good points about the future and about the draft and what Brett Veach is doing, and brings up good points of Brett Veach honing in on this Princeton quarterback and digging between the lines, and it's a good thing, to have analysis on a deeper level just than sports and stats, because that's where the truth comes out. And I think that's why the Kansas City Sports Update is thriving so much and will keep thriving, is because we're bringing facts to the table. We're digging between the lines. And that's what you really need to do to bring to the table, to the community of Kansas City and Chiefs Kingdom, just what the bigger picture is for the Chiefs. So, Kansas City, with that being said, this is my broadcast today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a great weekend. Tune in. There'll be more news to come. Here's the thing. It's a boring time in the NFL. It truly, truly is. You know, we get through May, June, and July and get back into August, things will start picking back up again. But I refuse to report on pointless news. It's just the off season needs to keep rolling along. Just enjoy your summer, Kansas City. And I do want to touch base on one thing. All these players coming back to retire as a Kansas City Chief. That's amazing. That tells me that they want to be a part of the organization right now. Jamal Charles, you deserve to retire a Kansas City Chief. Derek Johnson, absolutely. Welcome back. Dwayne Bowe, man, you're kind of questionable. I'm just going to throw that out there, Chiefs Kingdom. Dwayne Bowe, look, man, you had one good year. One good year. I don't know what you did outside of that one good year, but I also understand the horrible quarterbacks that you had. So, by default, welcome back, Dwayne Bowe. But I feel like next on the list is going to be, gosh, look, you all are going to hate me for bringing this name up, and it leaves a sour taste in my mouth for sure. But, Lynn Elliott, are you going to try to come sign a one-day contract with the Kansas City Chiefs? I did make a post about this on social media. I don't know if any of you saw this or not, but I did say that Lynn Elliott has signed a one-day contract with the Kansas City Chiefs to retire, but for some reason his plane did not make it to Kansas City. And I believe that everybody in Chiefs Kingdom absolutely feels the same way I do about this man and probably wouldn't be upset if that was the actual scenario. So, not really fond of a guy whose nickname is wide right or left or anything but between the fucking uprights. Excuse my language. So anyway, Kansas City, I'm going to leave you with that. You have a great weekend. Let's look forward to this upcoming season because it's going to be really cool. We have a lot of crazy new pieces of this puzzle, a lot, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It was just like last season. Remember last season when everybody questioned the Chiefs' offense and they said, well, we don't know about Patrick Mahomes and this and that. Well, the man went out and threw 50 touchdowns for 5,000 yards. So don't question the system. Don't question Brett Veach. Trust in our front office. Let's go Kansas City. I know our defense is going to shine this year. The system is set. We got a good coach and great players. The offense is ready to roll. Come on, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill is back. Let's go. Let's get in action. Let's get up and let's go, Kansas City. It's time. 49th year anniversary of Kansas City not winning a Super Bowl. This is our year. This is our year, Kansas City. So, from the Kansas City Sports Update Studios, this is the Richard Smith Show. We talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. Brought to you by Arrowhead Update. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Player FM, YouTube, and all third-party applications. Check us out on all major social media platforms as well. And if you cannot find us there, just Google The Richard Smith Show and Kansas City Chiefs, and you will find us. Have a great day, Kansas City.